The virtue dropped yesterday when the prince and the Duchess released a statement saying they plan to split their time between the UK and North America while also working toward becoming financially independent from the royal family. The couple were married in a lavish ceremony almost 2 years ago, and some Brits are now accusing Meghan of driving a wedge between members of the royal family.
I think she's wearing the trousers, and I feel sorry for Harry. We want the golden boy back. And I think it'll end up in tears in the future.
I thought it was an overreaction. I thought it was ill-considered. I think not a very mature thing to do, just to issue a statement on your own without discussing it with the family. So, I think you ought to reconsider.
Well, I am quite disappointed, yeah. I mean, you don't see William and Kate doing this, do you? So, far from it, so yeah.
A split has already become official at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in London, where Harry and Meghan's waxworks have been pulled from the royal lineup. The reaction is mixed outside of Britain, including at the New York Post, which published a satirical cover of the couple enjoying their so-called commoner life. Many believe the pair will eventually end up settling down roots here in Canada.
It's all very sordid, isn't it, Faiza?
Would that be a bad thing? Canada's a great country to live in.
We got room for 2 more.
Absolutely. Okay, so there is a Canadian company here that's catching some serious blowback for an attempt to entice Harry and Meghan to move to Canada. Who is it?
Tim Hortons, trying to make, get some goodwill off of this whole Harry and Meghan thing. It backfired. I want to show you the tweet that Tim Hortons put out. They said, no pressure, Meghan and Harry, but if you do choose to move to Canada, free coffee for life. Think about it.
Ooh.
It backfired. Look at some of the responses to this.
Okay.
One man writes, they can afford to buy the company. Your employees can't afford rent. See the problem with the tweet? Another person writes, you got employees who have to go to the food bank to put food on the table, and you want to offer an already wealthy family this perk. The hot takes continue to roll in. Someone writes, why not give your employees a 10-cent per hour raise? That would help people more. And finally, someone writes, I'm pretty sure they can buy their own coffees for life. How about you pick 2 regular folks a month to give free coffees to instead? Call it the royal perk treatment.
Oh.
Yikes. Not good. There was a walkout in Winnipeg, some unionized Tim Hortons employees, and so that kind of added to the anger about that whole situation, Faiza.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, speaking of finding a new place to stay, we're learning more about some of the new screening procedures at Airbnb that's they're putting in place. They're changing quite a few things up.
This is wild. So they have this new AI system when you try to get an Airbnb. So if you've been rejected from booking an Airbnb rental, it may be because the app's AI determined you're a psychopath. Not you, Faiza.
No, never.
Certainly not. Airbnb,
me.
they have the software now that digs through people's internet posts and their social media activity to detect what they're all about, their personality traits. And if it thinks, you're maybe narcissistic or you've done crimes in the past or you're a psychopath, it flags you and it stops you from renting. Now, Airbnb says they're not using all of the aspects that the software can employ, but still, they're trying to do something because there's been a lot of high-profile incidents in some Airbnb rentals. I did a story the other year about a disproportionately large number of psychopaths in the broadcasting industry. But not us, Faiza. Not us.
Not us. A lot of people say it's just social media. I guess not anymore.
Got to be careful everything you put online because companies are looking now.
Yeah. Are you going to delete all your tweets now, Richard?
No, not my tweets.
Okay. Okay. So from Airbnb to hotel rooms, one chain has released a list of the most bizarre items left behind in its hotel rooms last year. Do I want to know?
Well, we've all forgotten something, right? Maybe our glasses or whatever in the hotel. Travelodge releasing the most unusual items left behind. They include a Tiffany engagement ring. You don't want to forget that.
Ooh.
An Aston Martin car. How do you forget that?
No way.
A Persian chinchilla cat. A pair of live alpacas.
Oh, God.
And I knew I left it somewhere. A 5-foot unicorn made of flowers. There's an urn with father's ashes in it. You mustn't have liked Dad too much if you left that behind. Blood pressure monitor as well. They said the most common items left were a phone, books, and a teddy bear, Faiza.
Maybe they should have done the social media check.
Seriously, I always leave a little tip for the maid on the pillow because I never know if I might forget something. I want some goodwill with the housekeeping staff.
You think that's why someone left behind an Aston Martin?
I hope they left a tip because they definitely want that car back, Faiza.
Well, you heard it here. Richard's a big tipper. Thanks for joining us, Richard.
See you tomorrow.